guys, I am back again with yet another video. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to survive college, how to survive going back to college. Just some tips, because I know a lot of people are maybe thinking about going back to college, but they're thinking maybe, maybe they can't do it. But really, I believe that everyone can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Just a little background information. I've gotten my associate's degree, I've gotten my bachelor's degree, I've gotten my master's degree, and now I'm working on getting my doctorate degree in social work. College, I gotta tell you that it's gonna be pretty tough. There's gonna be some nights where you're gonna have to miss some sleep so that you can stay up doing assignments, studying. It's a lot of work, but if you're committed, if you're dedicated to finishing, you can do it. I'm currently on my way to work, so that's why I'm in my car. Let's just get right into it. So just a few tips on going back to college. Just make sure that if you're applying for financial aid, make sure you do it way ahead of time. Once you start school, on the first day of class, you get to know, everyone. Try to get in good with your teacher. Let them know what's going on in your life. Let them know that you have a family. If you do have a family, if you're taking care of somebody, if you have kids, just let them know. If you're working and you're trying to get this degree, just definitely let them know what's going on, because that will help you out a lot. Right before school starts, and I find out who my teacher is going to be, I'll send them an email and I'll just introduce myself. I'll be like, hello, my name is Dominique. I'm currently working at so-and-so place. I know it's going to be challenging for me to do my work and stuff like that and get things turned in on time. So if I do happen to be late on something, it's because of this, and this. I have a child, I volunteer, I do all of these things. So just let them know up front, so when the time do come, they'll know. They'll be like, oh, well, you know what, she's probably doing this because that's why she's late on this assignment. I'm not saying that I'm particularly going to be late on everything, but just if it does come up, they'll know. Another good tip when going back to school is getting with some of your classmates. Get their phone numbers. If you met someone in your class that you feel like y'all can help each other throughout the semester, get their phone number. Let them know who you are. If there's an assignment that you're having problems with, hit them up and be like, hey, I'm having trouble on this assignment. Do you know how to do this? Do you know what's going on? Do you know anything about this topic? That has helped me a lot. I'm telling you, a lot. Every school that I have been to, every class I have been in, I've always gotten at least one or two people's phone number, people that I can depend on. And they'll either contact me if they need help, or I'll contact them if I need help. Setting up a schedule. I have a calendar book that I write down all of the due dates. You'll have a syllabus and it'll let you know what is due on what day. At least most syllabus have the due dates and stuff on what will be due. You have a final project. In most schools, you'll have a final project or some end of the semester test at the end of the semester or the quarter. And so I'll write down all the due dates so that I can prepare for that. I'll work on it ahead of time so that I can get that work done on time. I only have 11 months until I graduate with my doctorate degree. And so I'm really excited. I'm so tired of school because I haven't had a break from any school at all. I went straight, in high school, I was doing college work, and once I finished high school, I just went on into, going to college. And so I was taking night classes while I was in high school. So I haven't had a break since then, and I'm so tired. I'm just so ready to graduate. It's not even funny, like how tired I am. I have to literally make myself do my work most days. Some other tips on surviving college: take advantage of the library, the school's library on campus. I know that some libraries, like if you don't have a laptop, they'll let you rent a laptop. Like there's so much new stuff going on in the library since I was in like undergraduate school. Because when I was in undergraduate school, they didn't have where we could rent laptops. Like I had to use my financial aid to buy a laptop. But now you can rent one from the library, and I don't even know how much they charge or even if they charge anything. But that's just a good, you know, resource. Take advantage of tutorials. Like some of the teachers will provide you with tutorial sessions. Like you can meet with them one-on-one. Like I'm not good with math, and for me to like even survive I can't even pronounce it, algebra, college math, like it was a struggle. But I had a really good teacher who I spoke to. I told her, you know, I'm not good at math. I hate math. Math is not my specialty. She met with me one-on-one and taught me, you know, all of these math problems and A plus B equals C and all this crazy stuff. Like if you get in good with your teachers, like they'll help you. And another tip is joining a study group. I know when I was in my undergraduate courses, they would get together for maybe 3 or 4 hours and study. I know some people can study well with others. Some prefer to study better. Some prefer to study by themselves. And so you just gotta figure out your preference or whatever. Not all of them will grade the same. I know that I've had to adjust a lot to the majority of my teachers, because one teacher will teach you a technique a certain way, or they want a paper done a certain way, but then you go to another class and this teacher is totally different. They're like, no, you shouldn't do it this way, you need to do it this way. So you have to break that old habit of doing it a certain way and to, you know, do it how they want you to do it, which can be very hard because you've been doing it, you've been writing papers for so long this way, and then you have someone else who's saying, no, that's not the correct way, you need to do it this way. And so you have to adjust. You have to be willing to adjust so that you can basically get the grade that you need to get in order to survive school. And I know some people who go to school just to get the, you know, the financial aid money, and then they drop out. I know several people like that. But for me, at some point, once you get a degree, you no longer get financial aid. It turns into student loans. And so lately, I was one of the people who said I would never get a student loan. You know, that would be my last resort. But eventually, I had to break down and get a student loan. And so now, there's no turning back. Like, I have to get my degree so that I can get so that I can work and pay back these student loans. Basically, that's what it boils down to. Like, there's no turning back. I have to make good grades because I'm knee deep in this, and I need to pay back my student loans. So for some people, it's a choice. For me, it's like I have to, because I done started, I done got this far. There's no turning back. So, you know, if you're like me, you know that you need to succeed. You need to come up with, like, as I mentioned earlier, you need to come up with a schedule. You need to be disciplined. Like, there are some nights when I want to come home from work and just, you know, I fix my baby something to eat, we get ready for bed, I just want to go to sleep. But, you know, you have homework you have to do. And so you're up all night doing homework while everyone else in the house is asleep. That can be kind of depressing at times, you know, because you feel like your life is nothing but schoolwork. But, you know, you got to keep in mind the overall goal. Like, living a lot better, and things will be a lot better once you get your degree. And I know there's a lot of people who say school isn't for me, you know, I can't do school, you know, just telling themselves stuff that's just gonna discourage them from going to school. And I don't think you should do that. You should just tell yourself, you can. I can do this. I will do this. I am gonna do this. You know, be your own motivator, because not everyone has someone to motivate them. Like, I have my husband that's supporting me, and then I have family as well. But at first it wasn't all, you know, peaches and cream. It wasn't all good, you know. I didn't have much support in the beginning. Like, I remember one time I was talking to my grandmother, and she had knew that I had already got my bachelor's, but she didn't understand why I wanted to get my master's. She was like, you already got one degree, why would you want to go back to school and get another? Well, with the master's degree, I make more money than with the bachelor's. And you know, when you have just that one degree, bachelor's, when you just have a bachelor's degree, you don't make as much as you can when you have your master's. So sometimes it takes getting that second degree to make the money that you want to make. But for me, I'm going back to school to get my doctorate now, which I will have next year. And so that's going to open so many doors for me. And I'm also trying to learn Spanish as well. So you just have to be your own motivator, because, you know, not everyone will have someone to motivate them. Another tip on surviving college is taking notes. Now, I am a person who I tend to forget things if I don't write it down. So when I'm in class, I'm taking lots of notes. Like, I take a big old spiral notebook with me, and I'm like writing notes the whole time the teacher is talking. For someone who doesn't like writing or doesn't like taking notes or don't take good notes, see if it is okay for you to bring in a tape recorder into the classroom, because some teachers will allow you to record their sessions. And that way you can go back and listen to to what they were saying during class. And so that has helped me out a lot. Taking notes, taking lots of notes. I know that once you graduate, and if you are doing like social work or some type of social services job, they have this saying that if you don't write it down, it didn't happen. So for me, taking notes throughout school, it helped me out a lot when I started working. Because if you don't take notes, well, if you don't write it down or type it up, it didn't happen. So that is just like something to note, something to remember when working in that type of field. Another good tip to know is showing up to class on time. Like, teachers notice when you're sneaking in and through the back door into the classroom and trying to sneak in and being late all the time. Like, I understand if you're working, because, you know, and teachers understand too, that if you're working and sometimes you might have to show up late, let them know that you're working and this is the reason why you're coming in 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes late. Let them know that, you know, I'm working, or I have to pick up my child from daycare. This is why I'm late. But if you're late just because you didn't feel like getting up out of bed, you need to show up on time. Because showing up on time lets them know, oh, they're serious about their education. They really want this degree, you know. Those that are there on time, or even early, show up early. That lets them know that, you know, you're working hard, you're here, you're ready to learn. Also, sitting in the front of the classroom. I know that would be hard for a lot of people. For myself, especially. I know when I started out school, I was sitting in the back of the classroom. I wasn't able to focus as much when I sat in the back of the classroom. But when I started placing myself at the front of the classroom, you have no choice but to pay attention, because the teacher is looking right at you. For those who are, you know, constantly on their cell phones during class, if you're going to do that, sit at the back of the classroom so that the teacher, you know, can't notice you as much if you have to check your cell phone. Like if you have a child at home and you have to, you know, check to see what's going on, or a child with a daycare worker and you have to know what's going on, sit in the back of the classroom, because your teacher doesn't know if you're goofing off on your phone. So, you know, be courteous of others. But if you don't have to get on your phone, don't get on your phone during class, because it's just, I don't know, the teachers look at it as disrespect. So you want to be on their good side. You want to be their teacher's pet, you know. You want to work your way into getting those good grades that you don't really deserve. So you'll get creative eventually, you know. I must also say that college takes dedication. And this is coming from someone, myself, who has driven 3.5 hours to go to school, there and back. 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours there, 3.5 hours back. Because there was no college that had the program, had the social work program in my area. And I lived in another city. I had a family in this city. And I was, you know, I can't just pack up my bags and leave whenever I get ready, because my husband has had a job as well, and he has a job as well. So I had to drive 3.5 hours to school, 3.5 hours from school. And then some nights, you know, I didn't make it home until like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, going to school, I had to be there, I believe at 4 o'clock or, no wait, let me think. I had to be there at 7 o'clock. I had to be there at 7. And we got out of class, I believe, at 9. Sometimes a little later, and I didn't make it home till like 1 in the morning. And so that was dedication on my part. I did that for 10 months because I was able to get in the program because of my good grades. I was able to get in the program. It was kind of like a fast track where you can finish class in 10 months. And so I did that. And it was a lot on my part. It took dedication, because there was just some days I was like, oh, I do not want to go to school. But you know, you got to keep that goal in mind. You want to graduate, you got to do it. You got to be disciplined. So I didn't miss any days of school that I can think of. I don't believe I missed any days. So it takes dedication. If I can drive 3.5 hours to class there and 3.5 hours back, I know that some of you can make a 15-minute trip to your class or to your school. It takes dedication. You got to be willing to put in the work. It's going to be a lot of work. It's not going to be easy. Don't give up. No matter what, don't give up, because you can do it. I mean, there's been so many times that I've questioned, why am I going back to school? Why did I want to do this? But it's not in me. Like, you know, it's not in me to give up. I don't have that in me. I may say, oh, I want to give up, but it's not in me. Like, I've made it this far. I'm a rock it out to the end. Like, I'm so ready to graduate. That's just keep that in mind, that you're ready to graduate, and you will make it. You will definitely make it. My bachelor's degree, one of my teachers had, you know, put me on blast, basically. She was like, Dominic, you're not gonna make it. You know, basically discouraging me from even continuing my education. But she didn't know that I was helping like 5 people with their work. And so I was slacking in my, you know, on my own work, because I'm helping so many other people. And so, you know, I had to take a look, you know, I had to take a step back and be like, you know what? I'm trying to graduate. I got student loans. I can't be giving others so much of my time. You know, you want to help others. You want others to succeed, but sometimes you can do a little too much. And that's what I was doing. I was giving a little too much when I should have been directing them to the teacher, or have, you know, letting them know that the teacher is there to help as well. And it had even gotten to the point where I was like helping people with their homework, you know, doing majority of their work. And I have my own work to do. So sometimes you can give too much And, you know, my teacher, she put me on the spot. She was like, you can't do this. You know, you basically need to get out of the class. So I had a meeting with her. I told her, I was like, you know what? I'm helping so many other people that I'm lacking, you know, on my own work. So after that, after I kind of slacked up on helping so many others, I mean, I still helped them. It just wasn't as intense as it was at first. And so when I slacked up on that, my grades started going up. Like, I didn't realize how much I was capable of because I was giving so much to others. So sometimes you have to take a step back and just, you know, do a little for yourself. I'm not saying be selfish, don't help others, but sometimes you can help a little too much where it affects you in a negative way. And so I'm here now. I'm getting my doctorate degree. That's something big, because a doctorate degree is definitely not easy. Like, we have work due every week, like, and I'm talking 15, 20 page papers. Like, it's not easy at all. So for me to be here and starting out from the bottom, like not having nothing, not being able to even get a paper correctly done, to writing excellent papers and the teachers can barely find a mistake wrong with my papers, that tells you something right there. So that's another tip. Another tip is, I know that I have taken quite a few. I've taken several online classes, and I know that a lot of online classes require you to do discussion posts. And so discussion posts kind of puts you on the spot, because not only does the teacher see your work, but the students see your work as well. So what I learned to do was, I would wait till several people post their discussion, and I would kind of see what they were talking about, which would help guide me on what I should post. And I've done this for several years until I was able to like get a grip and understand what the heck I was talking about. So sometimes you might need to wait till other people post so that you can see what you need to write, so that you won't sound like you're just way off topic or you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not saying be the very last person to post, but at least wait till a few people post to kind of see what it is they're looking for. Because sometimes what I'm thinking the answer to the question is, I might be way off from what everybody else is thinking. And I'm not saying you should fall into the group think where you're thinking like everybody else, because sometimes you do need to think outside the box. But I'm saying, like, if you don't know what the heck this question is about, or how you should approach this question, wait till somebody else posts and then you should post. So that has helped me a lot. I'm telling you, I've only gotten 1 C throughout my entire year of college, and it happened in my doctorate degree. I was so freaking upset when I got my first C. The rest of my grades have been A's and B's, and this is coming from someone who hates doing homework. I hate the thought of doing homework. I hate the thought of doing any type of schoolwork. And I have managed to make nothing but A's and B's, and I've gotten 1 C in my doctorate degree, and I was so upset about it. But it was because I was really slacking. I had a lot going on. My grandmother had went into the hospital. It was just so much going on during that college semester. And although I let my teacher know, he gave me lots of chances to get my work turned in. And I was just so drained. Like, I was just drained to the point where I just felt like I couldn't do it. But I eventually got all my work turned in. And the only reason why I got a C is because it was like super duper late. But the thing is, I got it turned in and I got my grade, and that C is not going to affect me from getting my degree. In the doctorate program that I'm in, you can only make 2 C's, and you can't make any other C's than that. And so that's going to be, hopefully that will be my only C. I only have less than 4 semesters left until I graduate, so I don't foresee that happening again. I know things come up. I know that, you know, family members get sick, but I plan on doing better with getting my work turned in. And so far, you know, the semester just started, but everything's going good. I've maintained my A. I basically have 100 in my class so far, so I want to keep it that way. But I'm trying to think if I have any other tips to give you guys. I mean, you just got to stay motivated. You got to join these study groups. You got to put in the time to study. You got to stop telling yourself you can't do it and do it, you know. And if you don't know how to do it, seek to learn, you know, get out there. Let the teacher know, you know, I'm having trouble in this area. Can you please help me? You know, I don't understand this. I have, you know, I'm the one who doesn't like asking for help. I like to try to figure it out on my own. But I have found in school, I have to ask for help. Like, I gotta, you know, can you help me? You'll get to the point where you'll have to ask for help at one point in your college life. You'll have to ask for help. Or even in regular school, high school, or whatever school you're in. You need to ask for help if you need help. Don't be afraid, because there's so many people out there who are willing to help you, who enjoy helping others, who enjoy basically teaching. So don't be afraid to ask for help. If you have any comments, please write them below, because I am here to help. I mean, we're in this together. We're all trying to get somewhere in life. I know that, you know, going back to school can be like a scary thing, but you can do it. Don't be afraid. Do not let anyone tell you that you can't do it, because I've had people throughout my entire life tell me I can't do something, and I prove them wrong. So do not let someone tell you you can't do something. Never, because there's always a way. You know, God will make a way out of no way. So if you have any comments, please place them below. If you like my tips, please like this video. And as always, please subscribe if you're interested in any future videos that I have. If you have any suggestions on videos that I should do in the future, place them in the comment box below. As always, I hope you all have a great, wonderful, and blessed day. I'm finna head into work, so until next time, I will talk to you then.